Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to video number 2 of the Eastern Cape Prelim paper. In this paper, I'm going to explain question number 1.2, which is the bank reconciliation. We've already done the creditors reconciliation, so now I'm going to do the bank reconciliation. All right, let's begin. And the question says the information appeared in the books of Donald Traders and calculate the correct bank account balance by completing the table provided in the answer book. So the examiner is talking about this one here. But the bank account balance here, for us to understand it a bit better, I'm just going to open a bank account here because this is what we have been doing in grade 10, grade 11 as well. And then I'm going to take my favorable balance here, favorable balance. So once they say favorable balance, I'm going to bring it to my debit side, brought down 8,800. And then I'm going to come and it says note, the deposit on 18 April in 2023 and EFT number 245 appeared on the Maybank statement with the correct amounts reflected above. So the deposit on 18 April, which is this one, and the EFT number 245, which is this one, they have appeared on the Maybank statement with the correct amounts as reflected above. So those ones, I'm just going to tick them. The next one then says, the deposit on 27 April appeared on the statement as 5,000, all right, due to counterfeit notes being included in the deposit. So this deposit was recorded, remember, in the CRJ as 7.1. However, on the statement, it is reflected now as 5,000 on the statement because some of the notes could not be accepted by the bank. They were counterfeit. So that means the amount in the CRJ is more. To correct that, we come and record the difference between 7.1 minus the 5,000. That is the 2.1. We bring it to the CPJ. So we come here in the CPJ, then we say 2,100 over there. Let's move on to the next one. It says, EFT 246 was on the May statement with the correct amount of 6250. So that means this EFT was recorded, remember, in the CPJ. Okay, remember that deposit was in the CRJ. It was in the CRJ here, and the EFT is in the CPJ. So it was in the CPJ EFT number 246, and it was recorded as 6750. But the correct amount must be 6250. All right. So if I get the difference between 6750 and 6250, the difference is 500. That simply means we have 500 more in the CPJ. And if your CPJ is more, you record the difference in the CRJ. So you come here, then you say 500 over there. I'm going to move on now to information B. And information B gives us provisional totals, which is this one there. All right, given. And there is the other provisional total, the 88,530. Let's come here, information C. Bank charges 235. That simply means I'm going to come here and I'm going to record in my CPJ 235 for bank charges. The next one is going to be debit order for monthly insurance. So I'm going to come here. My monthly insurance is 1,140. So I'm going to come here 1,140. That is my monthly insurance. Direct deposit by the tenant for rent. Direct deposit. So this is money directly being deposited into account. So it comes to the CRJ, 4,600. The next one, deposit by debtor in settlement of account. So if the debtor owed us that, then they pay us 7,030. The difference, remember, is discount. But we don't record it here. We only want the amount we have received. So we're going to record our 7,030. 7,030. This one there. The next one, deposit by Uzu Technical College of 15,000. This was an error on the statement. That means it is an error by the bank. That means now that comes to the bank reconciliation statement. Remember, in the bank reconciliation statement, we always start with balance as per statement. Remember that there is two different ways of doing this. You either have the one column or the two column. In this case, I'm going to do the two column. Hence, you see I have a debit and a credit. And then I'm going to start off with balance as per statement and end off with balance as per bank account. So here is balance as per bank statement. That means I'm going to end my reconciliation with balance as per bank account. That is how I'm going to end this with. All right. We are told here that there's an error here of 15,000. So I can come here. I can say there is an error on statement. Or I can say this is an incorrect deposit. Or I can say we have an incorrect deposit. Others can say debit amount incorrectly credited. The amount still, remember, is 15,000. All right. The amount is 15,000. Let's come to information on the May cash journals. We have an outstanding deposit of 11,400 over there. So I'm going to come here and I'll say, remember we credit all our outstanding deposits. And this deposit, the first one is on the 19th of May. So I'm going to call it 1905. And then the amount is 11,400. So I come here 11.4. The other deposit is on the 26th of May. Outstanding deposit on the 26th of May. And that deposit is for 10,800. So I'm going to come here and it's 10,800. And the last one is an EFT, outstanding EFT. So I'm going to come here and we're going to debit our outstanding EFTs. And outstanding EFTs is 6,900. Remember, we debit our outstanding EFTs. That's your 6,900. I don't see anything. We must calculate that balance then. So we start adding up using calculators. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say now, how much is the total of my cash receipts? I have to add the 76, 270, plus 500, plus 4.6, plus 7,030. That gives me 88,400. So I'll come here, total receipts, 88,400. Then I'll come here, it's 88,530 plus 2.1 plus 235 plus 1,140. That gives me 92,005. 92,005. So I'm going to come here. My total payments is 92,005. I then look for the side with the highest amount. So I'll come here. 8.8 plus 88.4. That gives me a total of 97,000. Okay. I'm not going to say 8.8 plus 88.4. That gives me 97,200. So I'm going to get 97.2. Here I have 97.2. So the balance here, which is carried down, is your 5,195. That becomes my balance brought down, 5,195. That means when I come now to my bank reconciliation, my balance must also be on the debit side, balance as per bank account. Remember, here I got an amount 5,195. So I'm going to come here. It's going to be on the debit side again, 5,195. All right. So we're going to look for the side with the highest amount again. It's going to be 6.9 plus 15 plus 5,195. That's going to give us 27,095. 27,095. So here I have 27,095. 27,095 minus. That gives me a balance of 4,895. That concludes your bank reconciliation statement. Okay, we're going to look at the next question paper. Please continue practicing. All right, we're going to look at the next question paper.